Body camera footage released Wednesday by a suburban police department in Utah shows 5 officers repeatedly firing into all sides of a car in a fatal shooting, after yelling "gun" several times. The deceased's family called the incident brutal murder in the lead-up to the release of the footage. The March 1st shooting came after Chase Allen refused to give officers his driver's license or comply with most of their commands. He instead responded with a litany of anti-government views, calling into question their authority to pull him over. He was initially stopped by an officer for having what police later called an illegitimate license plate. Farmington Police Chief Eric Johnson told reporters during a news conference Wednesday that officers opened fire after Allen reached downward to what they feared could be a holster or gun. He acknowledged, though, that the footage is unclear about what happened seconds before the shooting, because the body camera's view of Allen's hip holster is obstructed by the car door and an officer leaning in to grab him, while another shouts that there is a gun. The officers shoot what appear to be many rounds into Allen's vehicle for several moments, before an officer yells to cease firing. The 5 officers aren't named in the footage released. The video begins with the first officer's vehicle following Allen, a 25-year-old former college soccer player, into a post office parking lot. The officer approaches Allen's vehicle, a blue BMW, to ask about his registration due to what appears to be a questionable license plate. "I don't need registration and I don't answer questions," Allen responds, at which point the officer calls for backup and tells Allen he's being detained. After initially refusing to provide his identification or registration and arguing with the officer about whether the law mandates he do so, the footage shows Allen providing a passport and, several moments later, refusing to exit his vehicle upon request. A second officer then threatens to break Allen's window and pull him out. Allen, while apparently recording the encounter on his cell phone, can be seen switching which hand he's holding the phone. The edited police compilation video, shown at Wednesday's news conference, then pauses and focuses on Allen's hand movement, which frees up the hand closest to a hip holster under his jacket. No firearm is visible in the holster or anywhere else in the footage at this point. A split second later, the officer yells "gun." Backup officers move to flank the vehicle's rear and passenger side, and they begin shooting into the car. An officer yells to cease fire after several seconds of shooting. Officers have not claimed that Allen returned fire. The sovereign citizen movement espouses anti-governmental views about issues ranging from whether the government can levy taxes to require license plates. It enjoys small followings, particularly in Western states where skepticism of government power has historically run deep.